Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy Charlie Murphy here with a new Minecraft series. This is going to be a series all about redstone and building redstone contraptions. I want to focus on some smaller redstone builds, some things that can actually help you out in your Minecraft game, whether it be a hardcore survival or just a regular survival server, some practical redstone. This isn't going to be an exhaustive series. In other words, I'm not going to go into every single little detail about redstone. However, I will make sure that not only do I teach you how to build the thing out of redstone, I'll teach you why it works the way that it works. That way you can take some of the principles you learn from these small builds that I do here and start making your own redstone creations. I'm going to try to keep these videos short. I want them to be small and digestible. I'm going to be putting them into a playlist so you can always go back to them if you need a reference. So let's go ahead and get to it. I've cleared out a little area here. Actually, I'm playing right now. This is the PS5 version of Minecraft. If you would like to download the PS5 version of Minecraft, right now it's only in preview, but if you go to your regular Minecraft game and go to the settings and go to the very bottom of the list, you'll see where you can download Minecraft Preview for PlayStation 4, and you can also download the Minecraft PS5 Preview. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I figured the first thing that we would do is something that everyone likes and everyone can get some sort of use out of, and that is building a piston door. Now, to build this, you're going to need several things. For one thing, you're going to need some redstone. This is redstone dust here, and you can place that along the ground, and this is basically like a wire. This is what your power runs through. Then we have this is a redstone torch. This serves as a power source, and as you can see, when we place it down next to redstone dust, it actually powers it. Now, one thing about redstone dust is redstone dust will only carry a signal for so long, a redstone signal or the power. And as you can see, it starts out brighter the closer it is to the power source, and it gets darker and darker and darker until you see there, it's just dark. That means that it's not carrying the signal anymore. A redstone signal can only be carried for 15 blocks, and then it goes dark like this, and you either have to shorten up your circuit, or there's another thing that you can use, which is called a redstone repeater. If you place a redstone repeater with the arrow facing in the direction you want the current to continue going, you can actually reboost the power of your redstone and make your circuit even longer. So these come in super handy for multiple reasons, and we'll get to that as the series goes along. One of the good things about piston doors is they can't be opened by entities. Now, of course, a creeper or a spider can't come and open your door, but on certain difficulties, especially if you're playing on hardcore and stuff like that, sometimes a zombie will actually break your door down and come in, especially if there's like a zombie horde and stuff like that. Plus, piston doors are just really cool. All right, so here we have our 1x1 piston door. We've got a button here out front. We press our button, our door opens. We walk through our door to the other side, press the button, the door closes. Alright, and this is what we want to happen. Once again, we'll press the button once, door opens, press the button on the inside, door closes. You don't have to worry about any nasty creepers or anything like that coming in, or any zombies breaking down the door. And I'm going to show you how to build this. Now, you notice that's a pretty nifty little trick. You press the button once and it opens, and even if you're on the same side, you can press the button again and it closes. And that works on either side. So we press the button open, press the button closed. There we go. The way we achieve this is with a special circuit, and it requires you to understand how to build a piece of equipment called a flip-flop. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, what we have here, this is the first flip-flop I ever learned how to make. This is what's called a T flip-flop. And what the T stands for is toggle. This is a toggle flip-flop, which basically means it works like a light switch. So say I have a block here, and I have some redstone coming off of that block and going into something that I want to power, like a redstone lamp. If I place a button on here, when I push the button, it cuts on, and then when the button comes back out, it goes right back off. Well, we don't want that. We want the light to be on or off. We don't just want it to flash. So you think, well, let me put a switch on there. All right, cool. Now it stays on. But the only way to switch that off is to cut it back off from the same side. Say we try to wire this up like our door, and we have a switch on this side. All right, I flip that switch. Okay, our light's on. Well, when I'm on the other side, this switch doesn't do anything because this switch is still on, so it's powering this redstone, so there's no way to get that power turned off without turning off the switch on this side. So basically what our flip-flop over here allows us to do is take one button press input or one input from something and make it an on and off, just like our switch here is an on and off. So one button press here, and our lamp is on. One button press again, and our lamp is off. And the way you build this is actually pretty simple. I'm going to show you how to build it right over here. What you're going to need to build this, you're going to need redstone dust, you're going to need redstone torches, you're going to need some stone bricks or blocks or whatever, and you're going to need, for the purposes of this, you'll need a stone button, but actually your input can come from anywhere, and you're going to need regular pistons, not sticky pistons like we used for our door. And basically we're going to dig one hole down in the ground, and we're going to place a redstone torch. Now you can use a redstone torch, or since they've updated it, you can actually use a block of redstone as a power source. But I'm just going to go ahead and stick with our redstone torch. So we'll place this at the bottom, pointing straight up. Be careful not to put it on the side there. I mean, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, but I prefer to have it standing straight in the middle. And then what we're going to do is, beside our hole, we're going to place one piston facing towards us. We're going to skip a block and have another piston facing inward like that. And then we're going to place one block there. This is going to be our switch. And then we're going to place a block there and a block there. Okay? So this is the part that's going to toggle. And then on this side of this block, we're going to place a redstone torch. That powers this piston, so you see it pops out. Then we're going to place a redstone torch here. That redstone torch is powering this, but it can't push the block because this piston is already facing out, and they're fighting each other right now, basically. So then what we're going to do is place redstone dust from here to here. And so what's going to happen is, now we take and we're going to place our button, and when we press that button, it's going to light up that redstone, and it's going to power both of these pieces of redstone dust, and the redstone dust is going to do like we talked about earlier and cancel out this torch. That's one of the reasons I like redstone torches, is because if you power a redstone torch, let's see, if you power a redstone torch, it turns it off. And this can be used for a lot of different purposes, but just know for now that when you power a redstone torch, it puts it out, and so it removes the power source. So when we press this button, it's going to power that redstone dust, which is going to turn both of our torches off for just a second, and that's going to give this piston just enough time to extend and replace and move the block, and then they'll be fighting again. There we go. Now, one of the advantages to this T flip-flop is it's fairly inexpensive. It only costs us two regular pistons, This doesn't have to be a block of iron. I just use it because it's a different block and it just makes it easier to make out what's going on. And a little bit of redstone dust, a couple of redstone torches, and a button. I mean, that's all we need right there. Now, what you're going to do to make this actually power something is right here where this is, either on this side or the other side, it doesn't matter, you're going to place redstone dust and have it go in a trail to the thing that you're wanting to power. So say we're wanting to power this redstone lamp. So we'll put it there, we press the button, it toggles, and what happens is that redstone torch that's under it powers this block, and that block powers the redstone dust and turns on whatever we wanted. Now, one of the disadvantages to this is because this is Bedrock, there is certain disadvantages to doing redstone in Bedrock. Some of the circuits are not, they're kind of glitchy. So there's a chance that every once in a while this is just not going to work correctly, and you're just going to have to press the button a couple times until it finally does. See here how I'm having a little bit of issue, but then it'll work. And sometimes I can get it to work, no problem. If you don't mind, being inconvenienced a little bit, this is a cheap, a fairly cheap alternative. You don't have to spend as many resources to make the stuff to make one of these. But as you can see, it's not terribly reliable. Here we have a better alternative to the one that I just showed you. While it is a better alternative, it is more expensive. But some of the good things about this are one, it takes up much less space. As you can see, this is only 2 blocks high, and it's going to be 3 blocks wide before your output. It costs a lot less, and it's actually silent. When I press this button, we get an output. When I press it again, we get the flip-flop output. And this is extremely reliable. If you press the button, it's going to do what it's supposed to do. That's because mechanically it's slightly more sound than the other one. This is the one that I prefer. The drawbacks to this one are, one, it's very expensive because you're going to have to make 3 droppers and a hopper, and you're going to have to make a redstone comparator. A redstone comparator is a little bit different than a redstone repeater, but we'll talk about that later in the series as we work on some other stuff. But basically, the way this works is these are droppers. And what it is we have a dropper that's facing up, we have a dropper facing towards our hopper, and then our hopper goes down into this one, and then this one outputs towards this one. So basically what we've made is a circle. Then basically all you have to do is go into the dropper and place anything. I placed a stone button. It could literally be anything, and all you have to do is put 1 item. And then what happens is when we push the button, it activates this this dropper and sends its package to here. So there we go. And when I look inside this one, you can see our stone buttons in there now. Then when I press the button again, the button goes up to this one, it spits it out into the hopper drops it down into this dropper, and then that gives us an output signal. So it goes up, over, and down. And then that gives us our signal, so that stays on. We press the button again, it shoots it from here to here. Now there's nothing in the dropper anymore, so we lose our signal. And it works pretty much without fail every time. Now there is one bad thing about this. Redstone comparators don't work like repeaters. They don't extend your signal. They don't extend your redstone signal and make it stronger. A comparator only puts out the signal strength that it receives. And these droppers don't put out a very strong signal. So if you look here, if I put a small line of redstone and then I turn our signal back on, you see we only get 1 block of power. So see, we only get 1 block of output. Now you can of course fix this easily by, instead of just putting your redstone straight there, you can put a redstone repeater in front of it, and then you get, you know, 15 blocks. Or, you know, depending on how you need to, you know, work your circuit or whatever, if you're going to send it this way or this way, you can just, you know, put your piece of redstone dust there and then put your redstone repeater there, and it'll just L into it, and then you can just continue, you know, placing your redstone dust wherever you need it to go, like that. But the reason we need this is because that's how we're going to achieve the result that we got over here, where we press the button, our toggle, our T flip-flop activates and leaves it open, and then we press here and our T flip-flop toggles it back shut. And now I'm going to show you how we do that. Alright folks, we're going to get started with this build, and to get started, the first thing you're going to do is dig a hole. This hole is going to be 6 blocks long, 3 blocks wide, and 3 blocks deep. Then what we're going to do is come over 1, 2 blocks, and then we're going to place dirt blocks here, and this is going to be temporary. We'll be removing these, but this is where all of our circuitry is going to be, and this is where we're going to build up our wall. You're going to come 1, 2 blocks away from the center of this hole that we've left open, and you're going to place 1, 2 sticky pistons facing towards you, and 2 blocks, and these are going to be the our actual door. And then we can come here and we're going to build 1, 2, 3, skip 1, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to come over 1, 2, 3, skip 1, 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be our doorway. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to have a negative space between my doors, so we're going to build up 3, and then just finish building your wall. So we'll build like that. This is our archway. We're going to build 1 out there. We'll fill that in, and then we're just going to come on the other side and do the exact same thing. I know I build kind of funny. I don't have any particular order that I'm placing my blocks, instead of doing it all in nice neat rows. But anyway, alright, and this is going to serve as our door. I'm going to go ahead and put 1 more up there so we don't have any negative space. It just looks like a nice clean passage. Alright, and then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to knock out a block there and a block there. This is going to be where we place our block for our door opening button, and you can go ahead and place a button on there if you'd like to. And then we're going to come around to the opposite side, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to knock out this block and this block, and then we'll do the rest once we get down in there. So we'll place our other block there, and you can go ahead and place a button if you'd like. Alright, and now comes the fun part. We're going to knock this block out, and what we're going to do is place our stone block there. We're going to place our redstone there, and then we'll come under here and go ahead and knock out the rest of this. Now this is going to be the walkway. This is going to be the walkway for our door. So you can knock out these 3 blocks, and you're definitely going to want to have something there. So we'll place stone blocks there for the walkway, and what we're going to do is knock out 1 extra block here and place another stone block there. Now the way this is going to have to work out is this is where our button is. When we press this button, it's going to power this, and so we'll place redstone there, redstone stepping down to there, and then we can drop back down and we can go ahead and place our block there. That's going to be the walkway for our doorway. Then we're going to place a block of grass or whatever you want there. This is the underside of this button. It's going to power this redstone. It's going to come down this way. And then all we're gonna do is have this redstone come down, over, and here and meet with this. And then we're gonna have it cross over this way and stop here. So what you can see here is basically when we press one of these buttons, it's gonna send a signal through all of this redstone. So when you press this button, it sends a signal down and across. When you press this button up here, it sends a signal down and across, and it all comes this way. This is where we're going to build our flip-flop. So we can put our sticky piston and our buttons away because we don't need those anymore. And what we're going to get out is our hopper and our dropper. So we'll go ahead and we want one hopper facing straight up. So you have to be above the block that you're placing the hopper on. If you're playing this in survival, what you'd have to do is basically just pillar up like this and look down and place your dropper and then break those out. Or, you know, if you're in creative, you know, just fly up. And then to place a block on top of another block, you know, something like a dropper or whatever, what you're going to have to do is crouch. See, if I left click on this, it's just going to ask me for an input for the dropper. But if I crouch and click, it'll let me place another dropper on top. So you want to be standing this way so that the dropper is actually facing back towards you. Alright, so we've got this one facing us. Now what we're going to do next is we're gonna stand to the side of it this way, and we're gonna place our other dropper. That'll make it face towards us. So basically we've got this one going into this one facing up into this one is facing out this way. Then we'll crouch one more time and place our hopper. Oop, nope, never mind. We're gonna crouch and place our hopper pointing at this one so that it goes down into it. If you click on this one, it'll be facing into that one, because that's what we want. We want this to go into this goes into this goes into this, and we make a big circle. Then we're gonna knock out a block here and here. We're going to get our repeater and our comparator. Your comparator is going to come out, and if you see it makes like a little arrow, you want the arrow facing this way. Then we're going to place a piece of redstone dust. Then here, beside the redstone dust, because we need this to travel, we're going to place a redstone repeater. Now that means that this is going to send a signal into this block of dirt. Then we want to knock out a piece there, and we can place a block here and a block here. We're going to place a block there and a block on top of that, and this block is going to get a redstone torch, and that's going to make our door stay open. Alright, then what we're going to do is place redstone dust here and here. So basically what's happening is now when we press one of these buttons, it sends redstone signal through to here. It activates our hopper dropper flip-flop, sends a signal out to here, which powers this block, which is going to power this redstone. That redstone is going to go into this block and turn off that torch. That torch turns off, the signal come into this and lets our pistons retract and opens the door. Oh, we almost forgot the most important part. We're either going to put, it doesn't matter which one you put it in, but you're going to put an item into either this hopper, either this dropper or this one. So we'll go into here. I've got 7 stone buttons, so I'll put one of those in there. Alright, now we've got that in there. And we are pretty much done, folks. So now we can come out. You can take your whatever kind of block you want, and we can close this up, and now we'll push the button and our door opens. We walk through and our door closes. How cool is that, huh? So folks, that is how you make a 1 wide piston door. Alright, this is the 2x2 piston door version. I like it because it's got a little bit of a bigger opening, but of course With the bigger opening comes the necessity for a little bit more wiring underneath, but it's really not all that complicated. Basically, we're going to be duplicating what's under on this side. You don't have to make another flip-flop. The 1T flip-flop will do just fine to work both sides, but we do have to, of course, have, you know, the redstone torch and the pistons and everything to work this side. But when you press the button, both doors shut. Press it again, both doors open, and I'll show you basically what we had to do over here to get this to work. I had to do a little bit of remodeling to get this to work, but it didn't take very much. I'll knock out these 2 blocks here, these 3 blocks here, and I'll show you pretty much what we had to do. We basically just knocked out some extra blocks along here to extend. See where we had this coming up and just coming straight into here to turn this torch off. I just knocked out some more blocks along this way and had it drop down and come across and go over to that side. Of course, you know, because we widened our door, we filled in some blocks, and this is where our button is now. Knock some of this away, it'll make it a little easier for you to see and understand. See, I had to place the button, and this time instead of coming down and just going across, it's still going across and meeting up with the redstone from our button over there. Just make sure you don't make your line too long. I think ours goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think by the time it gets to our T flip-flop, it's only 10 away. So it doesn't matter if it just barely makes it, as long as it makes it. So our redstone comes out from under our button press here, goes across and meets up with our redstone over there. And then, like I said earlier, our redstone comes from here, extends over this way, goes under, and then we have it coming up and meeting a step up here, a step up to a block that goes into our redstone torch. And we've got our block here with a redstone dust, and that's what activates both of our pistons here and pushes our blocks out. So push the button, redstone torch goes on, pushes our things out, press the button again, turns off the torch, pistons retract. And that is the 2-wide variant. If you'd like me to do the entire build, I'm pretty sure if you guys follow along with what went on here, you should be able to do what's on this side. But if you need me to go step by step with it, just let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to do another video. I just didn't want to make 2 videos for what's basically the same build, just mirrored on the other side. And there we go. And this can be the entrance to your base or your castle or whatever it is you build. And so we have our door. And I think that's going to do it for this video. It's been a lot of stuff to take in over a very small amount of time. If there's anything you'd like to know how to do, please share it with me in the comments. And I'll be back soon with another redstone tutorial to teach you how to make a neat contraption that can help you out or improve your base or improve your game. And we'll see you next time here on Just Playing with Charlie Murphy. Thanks for watching, folks. Bye-bye. Redstone, yay.